Okay, so I'm going to show you a bunch of different exercises you can do with your lever arms or jammer arms or iso arms, whichever kind that you have or are looking at getting. You might notice I actually have two of them set up here just so I don't have to adjust them back and forth. I'm going to go ahead and start with the chest exercises. You can do a standing chest press, looking like this. You can do single arm presses. You can do alternating presses. You can do negatives. You can do pauses. Pretty much anything you could do anywhere else, you can do here chest-wise. I prefer the standing to the seated. It just feels a little bit weird with the bench, but the seating is great. Or the standing is great, the kneeling ones are pretty good too. And then moving on to shoulder stuff, you can just walk out a little bit farther. You can press it up over your head, standard presses. You can do alternating presses. You can do single arm shoulder presses. You can even come out to the weight horns themselves. It just gives you a little different angle on the presses. The shoulder presses, whichever side you're on, you change that angle up and it makes it feel a little bit different. It's almost like using a landmine, but not. So again, with the chest and shoulder stuff, there's a ton of different variations. Pretty much anything you can think of, you can do. With the rows, the back exercises, you can start with a standing position. You can do standing rows with 2 arms, standing rows with 1 arm. You can even come out to the weight horn again. I actually use the weight horn for a handle for a lot of things. Wide rows here. And then from a low position, you can do your basic bent over rows. You can also do the single arm bent over rows. That's a lot like a dumbbell row right there. You could put a bench up with it if you wanted to. Single arm hang cleans. So basic chest and back stuff you can do. This is just a starting point for it. You can mess around with a lot of things here. Lower body exercises, I like to do a lot of accessory exercises with them. I don't particularly like doing squats and deadlifts with them. I'm sure some people do, but for me, I just don't really like them all that much. But leg curls, donkey kicks, butt blaster, that kind of stuff works really well. Standing leg extensions. I have a little pad that I made. So put onto the weight horn for the leg stuff. Not necessary, but some people may like it. So we're going to do a standing leg curl. You're going to put your heel on it and then just curl it back. These are actually pretty brutal. I like those way better than table. You can do a standing leg extension. So you're not only doing your seated leg extensions, you can do a standing version. Lift the knee up and then just extend it forward. You can do a standing kickback. Lean forward. The farther you go forward, the more your range of motion you're going to be able to get. And just push it back. Again, I normally actually do these with the weight horns, but you can use the handles. Donkey kicks, butt blaster, whatever you want to call it. And you'll also do them from a kneeling position. You can do inner and outer thighs. This pad is actually really nice for this one. Pull it across the body. You can also come come from the outer position, go outside. You can even do a lying leg curl with this. It's a little bit tricky. You set up some kind of belts, or you can even tie a TRX or a rope around there and curl. These would be on this side though. And then, I'm not going to do it for this video, I'll set up a separate one for it, but they even have an attachment for the leg press to put on there, if you want to do that. So there's just some basic